Hi, guys. It's Brandon with the Filmmakers Hangout podcast. I am your host, and I am with my co-host.
Hi, I'm Landon. Good morning. It's like 5 p.m.
Yeah. But you'll be seeing this at 10, hopefully.
It's still the morning.
And today's ghost.
Today's goat.
Oh, my God.
Not ghost. Today's
goat.
Goat.
Today's guest is Nathan. Nathan, introduce yourself to the people.
Amazing. So, hey, everybody. My name is Nathan Blizzard, and I do cinematography work and sound engineering in Nebraska, Iowa, and sometimes in Oklahoma. Sometimes. Just kind of depends. Lots of gas money wasted, stuff like that. It's kind of what I'm good at. And, yeah, I just like doing film stuff, and here I kind of spawned in a little bit not too long ago off work, so here I am.
Okay. Spawned in. I like that.
He said he's been awake since 4 a.m.
Yes, I have.
I respect the hustle, man.
Yeah, 12 hours.
8, then came straight here, so.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So, do you have anything that you're working on currently for film projects at all? Or?
So, yeah, currently working on my first feature-length film called Lost Soul. So, it's a film that was made while a student at Wayne State College. So, we're in post-production right now. We had, I believe, we've had our third test screening last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, sorry. And we're currently, going through the final touches for sound and color. So trimming the thing down. And yeah, so we've had multiple editors busy all year with post and production. So yeah, that's
what we're
working on.
Plans for where it'll show or when or just festivals? What do you think?
So yeah, plan is to have a 2-year festival run. And we're gonna have it screening, I believe February 5th. It'll be the Marcus Theater in Wayne, Nebraska. Will be our first screening for it. The film was entirely made by mostly students, and we had people help out from UNL, Metro, and stuff like that. So a lot of people who I graduated with, I originally came from Metro, and graduated from Metro. Metro represent, love that college. And then went to Wayne State to get my bachelor's. So I had people from UNL, Metro, and Wayne kind of come out, help out, especially post-production. Like we had, 15, 20 editors on that movie that come once a week. We had meetings.
Wow.
And do editing sessions together, which is amazing.
That is crazy.
Yes. Busy trying to get all that planning done for it. And yeah, this film wouldn't have been made without them, so it's everybody's dedication to it, I think, was cool. Having all that college collaboration, people meeting together, I think that's amazing when you see so many filmmakers who come from different parts of Nebraska, right, or parts from Iowa, and they come down oh, who is this person? Oh, I never met this person before. Okay, cool. And seeing that happen, even in post-production, I think is a huge one, because you always see that in production, right? You always see, people come over, and you're like, oh, I've heard about this guy, meet him, in post-production, you don't see that often. But when that does happen, it's super nice.
Yeah.
And, sometimes since post-production, you just sit there for hours talking, oh, that's right, we have to edit a movie. That's right, we forgot about that part.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
We completely understand about post-production because his film F is still in post-production.
Yeah.
The rough edit is being done by one editor.
Okay.
So it's been 2 years since we filmed this thing.
Yeah.
Going on 3.
It'll be 3
now.
years next year.
Yeah. So by the time it actually comes out in 2025, it will have been 3 years since filming. So having more than one editor, wow.
And then once it's done with the rough cut, it'll get sent to him. And I've told him and Mike, our editor, Mike Burns, we've had him on before, I don't want to see it until the premiere.
Okay.
Because I trust them implicitly. I also have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to editing. So I'm just going to be there looks cool, yo. Congrats, I think. I don't know. What do you think? But yeah, so I'm just, I'm excited for the premiere for next year.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, you guys want that premiere date is so I could show up for it and stuff like that. So,
sure.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to, people say pros and cons to cameras, right? Pros and cons to software use, right? Because they're all tools at the end of the day, right? You get to choose, which ones that they're meant for certain things, right? There's pros and cons to have multiple editors, right? There's pros and cons to not have multiple editors. So one thing is which I think with multiple editors that makes things so different is one, you have plan scheduling. 2, it's also making sure that everybody is understanding the same vision across the board, because it's very easy where let's say somebody who is really good at editing horror movie films, right? And they really like drawing out longer scenes, stuff like that. And you give them like a montage scene. Okay, maybe this scene is the best for you, or maybe you want to try this and let's see how you experiment. Right. It's up to you. You got to understand what their editor's capable of and what they want to do, stuff like that. So it's such a different experience. I don't really think there's a right or wrong way as far as having multiple editors or not having multiple editors. I think I've done projects with both like that. I did when I did Night Owl, which is my first film I made over at Wayne State College. We had 12 editors for that, and it was a short film. It was like a 13, 14-minute short film. And, you know, I think the multiple editor thing really helps show the different styles of each editor because they see things so differently. And then you have other editors who go in and watch that thing like, well, what if we try this? What if we try this? Ooh, I like this. Or maybe this doesn't work. Maybe this does work. You know, that dynamic is so important, I think, you know, because you want everybody's, you know, you don't want to have like you want a singular vision, right? It's important to have that. But you have people on board for a reason.
Well, and it kind of reminds me of when I was in class, which is actually not that long ago. I just graduated. And one of the classes I remember is they gave us the footage. Mm-hmm. They gave us the script. But they did not give us sound unless it had dialogue in it. And that's it. So then we had to edit it together, find and Foley the sound. And it was up to us how we edited and how we put those shots together, like inserts and B-roll and all that kind of stuff to tell that story. And it's amazing to realize and see the final product, how different each one of those edits are, even though you're going off the same script. You got the same footage, but you got different takes, different angles. People are choosing different things. People are putting music in. Some people aren't. Some people are doing weird things with the sound. Some people aren't. You know, even the length was different, you know, depending on what people were doing. So it boggles my mind. Like, I've always edited my own stuff. I've helped edit other people's stuff. I have not worked with other editors a lot. I could not imagine trying to get all those people in the same room together, scheduled and figured it out, because you're kind of creating more work for yourself in a weird way. Were you the director?
Yeah. So, like, this was for Lost also. Yeah, I was director for that. But yeah, it wasn't a lot of like, you know, there were some times we had like, I think I maxed like 5 people in a room at a time for it. So like, there wasn't really a point where we will have everybody kind of meet together, for it. So, and yeah, but, I would say like, I definitely think having the help of producers is so important. Because like, I know we brought in, for post-production, Nolan Flanagan, from Wayne State College. Like he came in, once we decided to make Lost Soul into a feature-length film and stuff like that, because originally it was a short, and then we're like, you know, this short was supposed to be, 20 minutes long, ended up being 55 minutes long, and we cut stuff from the original script out because we wanted it to be a short film. Let's just add that stuff back and it'll be feature-length film at that point. So he kind of came on to help us out with that, and having all that support, I think, really helps. You know, never underestimate your producers and stuff like that. They really can come in clutch, and yeah, something like that you need a lot of planning for. You need the extra help, and you know, it's you can't all do it alone.
And there's something to be said about not doing it all yourself. You know, people can help you. There's other people, even if it is literally just an ear or just an extra eye, even if they're not putting their actual fingerprints on it or anything like that, just another opinion is worth so much more. You know, that's why I love, you know, like having you at home, having my wife at home. He's more into the movie, but like he said, he's not an editor. So when it comes to that, but still getting his opinion on something when I'm editing it, like time-wise or pacing and things like that. But then my wife, she understands film just because she's in the room when we're doing stuff. But she's the closest thing to an actual audience member that we have. So being able to show her stuff and get her opinion is priceless. You know, but then if you have people that are in the industry, they're in the filmmaking community that can come in and actually hands-on help too, it's priceless. If you're paying them or not. Sometimes. Is there any future projects that you got planned?
There is a feature-length documentary I'm trying to get off the ground. We've been trying to get off the ground for a while. So kind of what I'm doing is like until December, the end of December, pretty much next year. I'm gonna make sure that like I'm trying to do a lot of pre-production stuff for that documentary. We're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, I know most of my main focus right now, since probably the end of summer, has been focusing on Lost Soul and this other project called Solitude. Make sure we get that off the ground. Helping out that I'm helping out with like other stuff, doing sound engineering things. A lot of stuff's happening next year, so we'll see how that stuff turns out and things like that. But yeah, I know for Solitude that's like an anthology film, so it's people from the Bison Film Festival, and we all kind of collaborated with each other, and we're making an anthology film. It takes place during the apocalypse, and it's about each people during pretty much each different stories happening, post America sort of apocalypse scenario, and kind of Twilight Zone vibe stuff like that. So that's kind of what.
The reason I'm laughing is because we literally just recorded our last episode with Kate and Bai, and part of the conversation was about having a post-apocalyptic anthology series that we will work on.
That's wild.
It's wild. It's crazy, isn't it? But then he also mentioned in his episode that he and two of his other collaborators are originally working on a story by themselves. Then he reached out to them individually, and he's like, the other collaborators, we're writing a script about that too. So now they're just collaborating.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's just crazy. Like the small little it's like, wow, we must be onto something.
That's crazy. Yeah, but like we met, I believe it was last February, March. When was that Bison Film Festival? February, March of this year. And we're all like, hey, we have these ideas. We like making apocalypse movies, and we all came together for that. We have 2 of them shot. We're in post-production for them. And I know for the short, which we did, for like the Wayne Cruise, stuff like that, we shot that last July, and we're in post-production for that. I think there's still one more part of it. But no, that's crazy irony right there.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe working with the same people. Who knows? But yeah,
so,
no.
I've had a couple cinematographers in this room with me. Mm-hmm. I'm a fellow cinematographer. I'm a director. I write. But the one thing I haven't been able to do with some of our cinematographer friends that I have in the room is nerd out on equipment.
Yes, equipment's fun. Yes. Equipment's so fun.
So it's toys, right?
They're crazy toys.
You're not even part of this, are you? You're just sitting here watching the car.
I'm just over here like I'm going to enjoy this one.
All right. So is there anything that's out now or just came out or you just found out about it that you're like sitting there going, I can't wait to go bankrupt?
Well, I'm always bankrupt, which is the amazing thing. There we go. But yeah, camera. Canon R5C has been a camera I'm looking at. And then the GH7 is a camera which I like to use a lot. I use the GH5 right now, and I love rocking anamorphic lenses, stuff like that. I think if you're looking to do, each camera is a tool, and like I said, not every camera is meant for every person. So like one camera might work for you, right? Brandon or Landon, right? They might work for you, but doesn't mean that'll work for the other, right? It depends on what your cinematography style is. So like I like doing handheld. Alejandro Gonzalez is one of my favorite directors. He does a lot of handheld stuff. He's a Mexican filmmaker. So I love the handheld look, and I really like doing long tracking shots. So don't do that, by the way, if you're a starting cinematographer. It sucks. And I like rocking anamorphic lenses and stuff like that. So, and the GH5 has, it's kind of nice for that. Would I recommend that GH5 to everybody? No, I would not, right? Would I recommend like, were there times where I use cinema camera with GH5? Yeah, absolutely. Just depends on the project, depends on the situation, stuff like what the director's vision is, so many other things, right? But yeah, the Canon R5C and I think the GH7 are cameras that fit my style. And I think lenses that fit my style are anamorphic lenses. I like that look, that flary look. I know when I was at Wayne State College, when I graduated, they bought some 2000.
heard.
Yes, this happened right when I graduated. So I'm like, Mike, why you did this to me? I love these lenses, but I'm like, why? So I went there a few times ago to mess with them. They're fun lenses to use. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, would I recommend anamorphic lenses to everybody? No, I went. There's pros and cons to each lens. And some people will say that your lens is more important than your camera and stuff like that, which depending on can be true.
Right.
So it's I don't know, I really like the GH7 or like the Canon R5C. I've used Sony's, I've used Blackmagic cameras, and I've used Canons. Like I said, I'm using Panasonic right now. So definitely a lot of money wasted. I'll say that.
I wouldn't say wasted.
Yes,
But,
probably not wasted, but I got to pick one at some point,
Right.
But yeah.
Well, and it's one of those things like something to relate it to that people might understand that aren't into cameras necessarily is computers or cars. The second you buy a computer or a car, it's already obsolete.
Right.
Cameras are kind of like that. Lenses, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
So lenses are the best thing to invest in my opinion, is because they keep their value much better than other equipment. So like if you bought a lens 5-10 years ago, you could potentially get what you paid for it, if not more, now for it. So you're not losing out on that. It's the camera equipment, like the camera itself and things like that, that you're probably losing out on because sensors are different, firmware didn't update anymore, all that kind of stuff. So yes, we're nerding out about equipment right now. I'm sorry.
Of course, absolutely.
But, it is what it is. But at the same time, it's one of those things that if you have the budget, you have the time, you have the option, definitely looking into the best option for you.
Emphasize for you
Right.
is important.
I think the way to go, and I'm definitely going to be looking into this myself. Luckily, I went to school at Full Sail University. Okay. And as part of my program for digital cinematography, part of my tuition was they sent me the Sony FS5 Mark II. The camera I'm literally recording on right there. They sent that to me as part of my tuition, part of my education. So luckily, I didn't have to do the research on that camera. I knew I was getting it. But now when I'm looking into cameras and things like that, I would love the Ronin, is it 4D? The one with the duck head?
I think so.
DJI.
Blake Bodlak
Yeah.
would know that.
Yeah. That thing is insane, but it's not necessary. We got to look at what's the more realistic camera to have for what shoots you're going to be making. Am I going to be making nothing but action film movies? No. So that camera isn't necessary. Using any of the cameras you mentioned on a gimbal or just handheld with a rig, without a rig, whatever, you can do an action film with those. So you don't need a specialized camera just for that. But what I have found that I'm going to be looking into is renting equipment to test it.
Yep.
Because then you're not out thousands of dollars. You're out hundreds.
Yep.
To see if it is a good fit for you. Lens, camera, whatever it is. He is a camera nerd, but more photography, But what he's been doing is, because he is filmmaking adjacent, he's looking at cameras that can do both, not one or the other. So like my camera, I could get photos out of it, but that's not what it's meant for.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? You're not going to take that bird watching. You know what I mean? So
you could, but there's probably
senior photos is not that camera. There's no point in that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the fun thing of knowing the rules. It's just like anything in filmmaking. Every aspect of it has its own rules, its own concepts and things like that. So you need to know those to know what you can bend, where to bend it, or break it if you need to. So I think even us with cameras, it's like, okay, we don't need this, but I want this because of this. Like, I don't know how you rig yours out all the time. I've worked with you on a set or two, but some people, they don't like using the batteries that come with the cameras for whatever reason, so they'll, add a V-mount battery or something like that if they need to. So it just kind of depends on what your necessities are, what you're filming. If it's more run and gun interview style, is it, actually on sets, you're moving and grooving, all that kind of stuff. Now, with that being said, move into the sound side of things, because that's where you said you kind of play into. Is there anything in that realm that you're excited about that you may have seen in there?
Yeah.
Toys or anything?
Well, I recently got the Zoom H6 Essential, which is a 32-bit float recorder.
Yes.
That Zoom. It's they went to their older body Zoom recorders and rehanced them for 32-bit sound. So it's a really good affordable option and stuff like that, which kind of like I've been using, and I got kind of spoiled the Zoom F6 with 32-bit floating point audio, and I used that. I know when I was doing soundchecking for the Cross and a few other projects, it was nice using that stuff. Super nice. Yeah. One of the things with sound is like, there's I like doing the production sound, but I also like doing post-production sound for projects too. So like I'll like sit there and just mess with sounds. Kind of what you're saying, kind of like seeing how different editors do this, different scenes, stuff like that. Same thing is applicable for sound. It's like I like doing that where like I'll go in there and I'll spend some time. I'll work with the sound person and different sound people, and we'll create something that's entirely different. And it's like, this is insane. I was thinking about using this sound effects. No, I recorded my sound. I don't buy sound effects. I use my own sound effects.
Yep.
Here's my sound effect library. Like, whoa, that's crazy. How much you got? I got 4,000 sound effects. I'm like, can we borrow those?
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I would say for sound though, like, it's good. It's good to start off small, then go big. I feel like even more than camera stuff, because I mean, it isn't. You will notice if your sound's not good.
Yes.
But it tells you the importance of why you should have a good sound.
Correct.
And stuff like that. So whenever I tell someone, like usually when filmmakers get into filmmaking, they buy their first camera, right? And they go into this stuff. They don't think about the sound, and then not everybody's like that, But then they kind of record their first short film. I know 7 years ago when I did that, and I'm like, wow, this Rode mic, I thought it was good at the time, or something like that. This like $50 like microphone. And then you see it later and like, wow, this really isn't good. But it shows you how you evolve in the sound part, and you see your evolution. And
that's what I've noticed is like cameras for like cinema style cameras that are good enough to make movies. Those progressed pretty quick for the open market. Audio, in my opinion, kind of took a back seat for a while. And lately there's been a lot more tools out there for the open market that they're not like uber Hollywood professional, but if you're just getting started, you're a small production, they're damn good. I have a cheap pair of Neewer wireless mics with the receiver that can plug into a phone or the adapter into the camera and stuff like that. They work great, and they were half the price of, another brand out there. The other one that I just saw came out, it was the Comica, I want to say I got it here, VM30. It's a shotgun mic. It's 32-bit float, but it can record into the mic itself. So it's not a lav, but it's still got a receiver as well.
Nice.
If you want to put the receiver on your camera. So it's a shotgun mic that has wireless capabilities now. And I'm like, oh boy. Because I'm more of an independent guy. I consider myself to be professional, but I'm not a professional filmmaker yet. So, looking at like pricing and things like that, like on Amazon, that's only $189.
Which is crazy.
For that
which
one.
is crazy.
Yeah. But the other cool thing is about that is they have another package that it can come with 2 microphones, 2 shotgun mics, and the 1 receiver. So then you use the dual channel to record each mic. I'm like, dude, audio's not expensive anymore.
Yeah, like I
good
remember
audio.
Yeah, I remember when I first started, like when I was a student in 2017 at Metro, and I was using the mics, and I was looking at mics and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, this stuff's so pricey. And then like I said, 2017, now it's 2024, and then you're like, whoa, where was that when I was started off? I'm like,
Right.
where was that? Like, it's so crazy how, like, sure, it's still pricey, yeah, but like how much the price has gone down for entry level filmmakers and stuff like that who want to go and doing this stuff, and it's crazy how the quality has gone up for the price.
And I find it too that it's weird. Like I have 2, I want to say Xsoon. I think that's the recorder boxes that I have. I have 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't cheap when I got them. And for some reason, I use them less because of the little audio that I have works. So I don't need to plug in hardwired stuff into this, because even the little lav mics that we have an old set that they're wireless, but they only record into themselves. They don't have a receiver. They're not a transmitter.
Okay.
So you're kind of recording blind. You don't get to check the audio while it's being said. But the cool thing is about it is you can hook that up to a boom mic and then have a guy. We've done it on a set for Maverick Knox, one of his films. Which one was it?
He was Son of Aries.
Yes, Son of Aries.
Because I was sitting under a bench with that thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Son of Aries, we literally were able to just clip that little mic onto the pole, and then he could walk everywhere. He didn't have a big box on him, a big pack, and wires everywhere. So, in a weird way, technology, if you're a little creative with it, because here's the other thing. My daughter, she does boutiques, okay?
Okay.
And the boutique person that ran it, the hostess, she asked me because she was in the new location that had multiple rooms, and she does a raffle. Well, she wanted a microphone setup that she could broadcast to multiple rooms because the building didn't have it. Well, I had multiple speakers, but they wouldn't talk to each other. So I cheated. I actually took the auxiliary out of one of the speakers, plugged it into the microphone transmitter, one of the Neewers, and then plugged the receiver into the other microphone, the other speaker in the other room. So I used my filmmaking equipment to make it work for her setup, just to kind of help out. And it's just amazing how if you know the equipment, you know your rules, you know your limitations, so you're able to talk to your creators and be like, yeah, we can't do that. Or let me figure that out. Let me figure if we can do this. So there's always a tool for it, but there's also, we need to be able to know that tool and practice and test with it and play with it. Now, getting away from toys, kind of. Let's go to the kids' table with Landon for some childish questions.
Okay,
Woohoo.
let's do it.
All right, there was a little voice crack there I had. Let's ignore it. Welcome to the kids' table. These are the childish questions, the stupid questions that let the people know who you are
Okay, amazing.
as a person. Like, let's start with the one I ask everybody. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Ooh, that's a hard. I think Spinosaurus is always good. Jurassic Park 3 traumatized me as a kid, and definitely have some unhealed wounds there. So yeah, Spinosaurus all day, every day.
All right, there we go. And if you could have any superpower, what would it be? You can't have multiple, by the way. I do not care.
Oh, I can have multiple. I don't know. I think being rich is a very cool power. I would like to have.
He's a Batman fan.
I am a Batman fan.
And then with money as your superpower, you buy as many equipment as you want.
Exactly.
But with great power comes a giant fucking mansion.
Exactly.
Duh.
Go on.
Come on now. You think I'm donating to charity? No. I'm selfish out here. God, I'm a horrible person. Top 3 animals that you think you could beat in a fist fight. Now, these can be real, fake, imaginary, prehistoric. I do not care. We're throwing logic out the window with this one?
Amazing. So Spinosaurus definitely number one.
Okay.
Gotta
fight those demons, man. Fight those
absolutely, absolutely. I don't know. I think my cat always wins before my alarm clock. Before my alarm clock goes off, he'll try to fake vomit on my face. His name's Cookie, so my last name's Blizzard, so it goes Cookie Blizzard.
All right.
Which is great. But yeah, this little guy will fart in my face, try to fake vomit on my face, do anything he wants for attention before my alarm clock goes off. So have taken massive L's to this cat.
Take your one chance at payback.
Yeah, I can send him your way if you want to.
I'm good. All right, one more.
One more. Okay. I don't know. Definitely would say I do have a fear of birds just randomly attacking me if I'm outside. It kicked in while I was walking in here. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a fear. It's a fear.
All right.
Birds. So no Hitchcock fan?
No. Two underrated colors.
Underrated colors. Violets and let's go gray.
All right.
Nice.
I think that's what.
Second
Isn't
gray.
that what Kenny said earlier? You think he said?
Yeah, gray.
Gray and pink is what he said.
Gray and pink, yeah.
So yeah.
Wild.
Let's do a couple more.
All right.
What invention do you think needs its own movie?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a real good one. I didn't even think. Oh, I've never thought about that before in my life. You know what? I think whoever invented the taco definitely needs a movie. One of the greatest inventions in mankind history.
Right.
Definitely need tacos. And I think whoever invented, I don't know. Do we have somebody who invented a camera? Do we have a movie about that? I don't know.
If there is, I haven't seen it, so let's just make one that.
We'll have to both make one. There we
make
go.
A blockbuster.
There we go. Absolutely.
All right.
Cool goals.
And then, you know what? Let's just do two more. One more basic one, and then a deep one. Best karaoke song.
Tequila.
Honestly, yeah.
That's
fair.
been my joke. My ongoing joke.
Every
And
time I bring
finally
that one up,
somebody
he
did
brings it up.
Yeah, there's a recording of me doing it at the Bison Film Festival.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's up. All right, and the last kids table question. We're gonna get a little deep. What's a hot take that you have about the filmmaking community here, or anywhere?
Anywhere? I would say, I don't know if it's a hot take, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who go to a lot of colleges and they don't collaborate with other colleges as much, and when they do, it's amazing. I think it'd be cool if we saw a lot of college collaboration stuff for Nebraska filmmakers and stuff like that. Between Lincoln, I know people in Northeast Nebraska, stuff like that, people who would really like that. And I think we're starting to see that happen. I know when I started off in 2017, it wasn't there. I think we're starting to see the sowing of that, and I think that would offer some great things. So I don't know if it's not really a hot take, but I think it's definitely something I think will happen 5 or so years.
I even think competition between them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, having like a
Well, you can have both.
48-hour.
You can have the competition
it would
mixed with
create both out of it.
right.
Having the competition, because basically you do like a 48-hour film challenge between the colleges.
Oof.
You know, so they all have to follow the same rules.
I
But
think
then
that as like a
you know what I mean?
national thing, it's where you can get
every major
like,
film school,
yeah,
that'd be kind of
in
cool.
the country to do like a 48-hour
Coming
2-week film
soon.
challenge.
The Filmmakers Hangout, 48-hour college film festival.
There we go. We're spinning ideas.
Woohoo!
Yeah, absolutely. There is, I believe it's Skills USA that has a 35-hour film challenge that is between, like each college. I know I did that. Went to nationals one year for it. But yeah, in 2019. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I definitely do think that would be a very cool idea. You should note that. That'd be cool. I like that.
We got it on recording.
Sign the petitions, people.
Brandon, future Brandon, you're editing this right now. You're paying attention. Listen to me. Write that shit down. Thank you.
Cool. There you go.
We got it. It's on record.
Boom. Write it in Sharpie.
On my forehead.
We get tats on his forehead.
Plenty of space. God. But yeah,
Did you
the
have any
college-
more kids table questions?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay.
But the college collaboration, I think that was
Yes.
Very, like,
Yeah.
I
definitely
got,
something that should happen because, like, that's. What are you doing?
okay. That's
What are you doing?
that's okay. I sent myself a video because it was another possible kids table question that I sent you,
I don't watch the videos.
and
you
I
send
love
me.
it. Yeah, I know he's terrible.
I don't watch reels or TikToks he sends me because it's either important or what's more likely to happen, stupid stuff he sends me at 2 a.m. Therefore, I get lost in it all and I'm not going to find the important thing.
Yep.
I don't watch
But
anything.
what this was, what's the one song you want played at your funeral?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Let's ask it.
What do I want played at my funeral? You know what? I said my karaoke song was Tequila. I think Tequila would be a great song to play at my funeral.
Just live by tequila,
Yeah,
die
Live
by tequila, baby.
I want tequila bottle at my funeral. To my family watching this, absolutely. Tequila bottles all day, every day. And we have tequila themed funeral. Have a whole bunch of decoration tequila. And yeah.
If a mariachi band ain't there, you're not doing it right.
Yes. I expect the mariachi bands to bring their own tequila too. Absolutely.
And everybody's got to pour some out for him.
Of course, absolutely.
And if he goes before Danny Trejo, he wants Danny Trejo to oversee his funeral.
Yes.
And even if Danny Trejo goes before him, bring him back.
Exactly. He needs to have a
Pre-record
very
the
lovely
message.
speech. Yes.
Yeah.
Pre-record a eulogy, Danny Trejo, please.
Woohoo.
Noted.
For our guest.
I love Danny Trejo so much. He's so funny.
Golden.
I love the fact that he was Boots in the Dora movie. Because it was so weird. Because, like, I just remember the one scene of Dora crying, like, I'm just a kid. And then you hear Boots go, you're not a kid. And it's Danny Trejo's voice. I was dying.
That's
I keep on forgetting the Dora movie happened, man.
Dude, I
it's
tried
like-
to, too.
It just keeps like coming back to me. It's come back to me right now.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I can't run from it.
I see on like TikToks when I'm scrolling, they do these like there's like these comedy acts that do stage plays, and there's a Dora the Explorer, but it's not. No, it's bad.
It's like Hood Dora.
It's naughty.
Oh.
It's just
Kids get
It's like-
traumatized. It's all right.
It's all right.
Okay, Boots is like packing,
Okay.
yeah, like that Colombian nose powder, stuff like that.
All right. Well.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of thing.
That's been the show.
But yeah,
Snap.
it's just funny to see those kind of things happen.
Yeah.
One thing I did see that I thought was kind of amazing, and for the longest time I thought it was a misspell today. I saw it just today. So by the time this comes out, you might see more of it. It said the first look at Jack Black in the film Dear Santa as Satan.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
I
What?
thought it was a misspell.
Oh, it wasn't?
It wasn't.
But then I looked into it and I'm like, oh,
Is he playing the devil in a Santa movie?
I think so. But I think
Wow.
there's not a lot of info on it. I think he's playing both.
Wow.
Because I think
Is it
me
Krampus
being a
origin
story guy, how would a kid misspell Santa?
Dyslexia. Into Satan.
Exactly. So what if it's the letter to Santa, because it is called Dear Santa? He writes it to Dear Satan, and the magic of Christmas turns Jack Black Santa into Satan for some. I don't know.
This is what happens
I
around
don't
naughty
know.
list, people. Like, don't
So
get on that
we'll
naughty
see.
list. That's
Or-
wild.
Or it's a Krampus origin story.
Exactly.
He's like, you know what? Maybe I do need to take some inspiration from the devil. Give me some horns.
Yes, but I'm a little excited because Pick of Destiny, Beelzebub, all those songs by Tenacious D. I'm a little bit of a fan. I remember.
Definitely gonna be a musical number.
I remember for the longest time, Landon couldn't pronounce a word right, a song title right, or something. I don't know what it was. He wanted to listen to the song, and he was saying it. Me and Stacy were like, "What the hell are you talking about? We don't know what that song is." And then it came on one day. I was playing it on my playlist, and he's like, "This is the song," and I'm like, "This is the song you wanted to play?" And if any Tenacious D fans out there, you know what song I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Dave
I don't
Grohl.
remember this story, but whatever.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's wild.
It's funny.
I was a stupid child.
Yeah,
At like 4 years
a
old.
fun child. If anything, I was maybe just a bad parent.
Can confirm. 18 years of anecdotal proof.
Damn.
That's a lot of proof.
Yeah.
That's a lot of proof.
There you go.
Have you ever been sent away? No. Have you ever been locked up? No. I think we did just fine.
Okay, whatever.
Do you have anything to say to the fans, the guests, not guests, the audience, maybe guests, I don't know, prior guests, future guests?
We're filming it in front of a live studio audience, man. Come on.
Everybody clap. We got Bill Murray right here in the wall.
Wow. But yeah, I'd say, thank you for having me on and stuff like that. It's an awesome experience being able to talk to you two.
For sure.
And very entertaining people to hang out with. So yes. But yeah, like I said, currently working on Lost, which feature length film that we're working on. Post production, have had test screenings for it, stuff like that. So far, so good. Hopefully, still, positive. We'll see. We'll see depending on the changes we do. So yeah, and then Solitude is the anthology I've been working on, and then documentary thing, which will be happening next summer, and we'll be sharing more news about that as it comes. So yeah, that's kind of what we have planned and everything else like that for it. So yeah,
sounds good.
Sweet.
Nathan, thanks for joining us, being in the studio, being a guest.
Thank you.
That's been the show, guys. I'm Brandon. That's Landon.
I'm Landon.
This has been Nathan.
Wizzy.
Thanks for watching the Filmmakers Hangout podcast.
That's goofy, like little piece bunny ears at the end.
Exactly.
That's funny.